Hello, this is Steve from Beato's Leatherworks. Today's project is this lovely Chanel bag. Well, it was lovely before until something happened to it. I don't know what happened to it, but something spilled on there and it absorbed all the moisture of the leather, and now it is rock hard. I mean, literally, it is rock hard. So, customer sent it in. I believe she said it belonged to her grandmother, and she wants to bring it back to what it used to be. Now, there's not much I can do to salvage what's here. I think we're going to be able to salvage just the part of the lining on the inside here. This is a double flap Chanel bag. We're going to basically remake the bag for her. We're going to salvage all the hardware and try to keep as much as we can of the original bag, and then just remake it and make it look presentable for her. All right, so let's get started. All right, here goes nothing. This thing is a mess. Now, I was hoping to salvage that top part, but if you look, see if I can show you guys. See how damaged that is? Man, what, acid fell on this bag or what? Wow, I'm not gonna be able to do that. So we're gonna take it all apart, try to take it all apart, and make a pattern, and then remake the bag for her. The sticker's in there somewhere. Some of you guys might say, that's a fake Chanel, man. It's in there somewhere. That's a real Chanel. It's a beautiful bag. This is not that popular, I don't think, anyway. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Which is the double flap. Alright, let's continue. You all know what time it is. Time to trigger some people. Oh, Lord. Man, where do I start? Two strips of leather holding the strap in. This is a little bit of thinner we put on there to loosen the glue. Man, it seems like it's been forever since I've uploaded a video. Not that I don't want to upload a video, but man, it's just been overwhelmed at the shop and trying to keep up with everything. I just kind of put the videos on hold. But this one, I had to make a video of this one. This was just, I think it's going to look really cool after it gets done. Before and after shots. But there's a lot of fiberboard here. This is just how bags are made. Don't complain that because this fiberboard's paper. That's just how they're made. You've got a metal piece right in the middle here to give it some structural support in the middle of the bag. You've got these extra pieces here. Add some weight to the flap to kind of keep it down shape like that. And more underneath before we get to the quilted, which all that's got to be replaced. I'm going to salvage whatever is inside here to give the structure just going to stay the same, and just replace the leather cover. Because the structure isn't damaged in the flap. It's still in good shape. Don't want to replace that just yet. Just yet, well, not just yet, just we don't want to replace it, period. All right, so the flap is apart. And salvage all these pieces here. I have to remake all these. I think I'm gonna redo those, not salvage them. We're not gonna keep any of the padding, obviously. It's dead. I'm gonna re-quilt it, remake the flap, re-stitch it, make it look just like this, and reassemble the flap. All right, let's continue. Wow, look at that. Man, something really ate this up. Wow. One side came out, the other side doesn't look good. Oh. Good. Man, you never know with these things. If that breaks, then I've got to be able to find something that matches that. It's going to be a pain in the ass to find. I'm sure it's available, but I'd rather keep the original hardware. All right, so I think we're going to be able to salvage the centerpiece right here, going all the way down to the bottom. We'll remake the side pieces here, side piece there, and this is the sticker that we're going to salvage also. If I can flip this around. Okay. Now the trick is going to be trying to figure out what size this was. So luckily we've got some indications. We can measure from stitch line to stitch line. That gives us the top measurement there. The distance from the top to the bottom, we've got this right here. We can kind of somewhat get a measurement from. And once we establish the size, we can go ahead and remake this and then make sure that the inside lining is the same as the exterior, so everything lines up well. So on the sides here, there are no quilted, there's no quilt on here, it's just a quilted pattern. The padding is in the front piece, the back piece, the bottom piece, but not on the sides. So we're going to try to duplicate that. I think, I don't know, I got to look into this. Sure, it looks like there's no padding here. I think it's just the front and back, nothing on the bottom either. All right, once I'll take this apart, I'll get a better idea of what it was so we can duplicate it the same way. All right, let's continue. This is lambskin for those of you guys are wondering what it is. It is lambskin. Now, whenever we have a hide, we try to figure out what's best area to use. And we try to stay away from the edges where the fibers are looser. It's got more grain. The grains are a little bit loose. So you can use those areas for the linings and such, but to do the proper, you know, the proper areas of the hide where it's going to be more visible, you try to use the best part of the hide when you're making stuff. So that's why I cut that piece in the middle of the hide, almost in the middle of the hide. Normally, though, I don't do that, but with something like this, it's got to be, you can't have imperfections on there. So you're going to waste a little bit of this small piece to get the better part of the leather, which is fine. It's okay. All right, so we've got our front, back, and center pieces cut. Now we get to cut the flat piece, I should say. Now we get to cut the center piece in the middle here. There's two pieces, there's a seam in the middle, right there. This is the piece that we need to cut now. Let's continue. This is, you can get this on Amazon. It's a leather pen, is what it's called. And you can clean that up after you stitched your pattern on. I'm sure there's other things you can use, but this seems to work out pretty good for me. We're just putting the pattern on the leather. And once we get that down, we'll go ahead and put the padding in the back and stitch it. This is the padding that I use for the Chanel quilts, well, any other quilts. It's a fabric with a foam glued together. Now, I bought this material at an auction. It was a shoe manufacturing company that was going out of business, and I bought some rolls of it. And it seems to do well with the quilted design, so that's what I've been using it on. It also works good as an inner sole for shoes to give it some cushioning and comfort. But today we're going to use it for our quilt pattern. And there she be. All right, let's continue. We're going to do a little sample stitch just to make sure that we got what we need. Like the size of the stitch, for example. Not too bad. That's hard to tell, but I think that'll be fine. So let's get stitching. We just have to follow the pattern and we'll be done. All right, so we're making progress. We've got the flap done. We've got the little tabs done. Now these are the pieces that were holding the strap to the purse. So I figured I'd make new ones. And these are the little tabs here that went across the chain that holds it down to this piece. Now, I thought, initially looking at it, the inside was fiberboard. And I'm like, how much structural support is that going to get? Because something's tugged on that. If it's just kind of paper holding it, it's not going to hold. So I decided to make new ones, and I put nylon reinforcement inside. Then I took it apart. Notice that there is nylon reinforcement, which is good for Chanel. I'm happy that they did that. They just had a filler on top of it here to give it that little bit of body. But that structural support is there, was there. That's okay, we replaced it anyway. We put new ones on there. It'll be much better like that. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. It's getting there. All right. All right, so we've got the main body stitched up. What we're doing now, we're going to fold these edges over right and left. Put a little bit of glue and flatten them down. If you notice right there, I've got a small thin piece of fiberboard giving it some structure to the middle area. And these openings right here are the same openings that you've got here. You see that? It's a little crumbled up, but you get the idea. That's where the bag folds over. Folds like that. So it gives it a little bit of easy area to fold the bend at that spot. Kind of cool. Man, that was a pain in the ass sticker. They didn't want to come out. Usually stickers just fall out by themselves, but this one was just fighting me. I got it out. It's in there. It's in there. All right, now what we're going to do is just assemble the lining to the body. And then once that's done, we put the flap on. Where is it at? We stitch that on. And then we'll go through conditioning, cleaning the glue, you know, over glues. I can't even talk anymore. Cleaning all the glue, adding conditioners, buffing it up, water repelling it, and then we should be done with this project. All right, I won't bore you guys with the rest. Let's continue. All right, welcome back. We're done with another project. Now, this was a fun project to do. Even though it kind of fought me tooth and nail with everything I try to do, I had to do it over and sometimes over again. The flap, this is the third one that I made. Literally, the other two they were ready, they were stitched, and everything was done. It just did not look right to me for some reason. So I'm kind of glad I did this third one, because third time's a charm, they say, and this one turned out much better than the other two. Everything else was not too bad. I tried to salvage as much as I could of the bag. Not much. I didn't salvage much. The inside pocket, the pieces underneath the flap are still the original. That's about it. Everything else got redone, completely new. Hardware is still the same. Chains still the same. Locks. All the hardware is the same. I didn't change anything else. There's nothing wrong with the hardware. Everything was in good shape. So, and I'm happy that it's done finally. I think it looks good. I think she'll be happy. This job was $3,200. When she first contacted me, did I hear some people pass out? Get over it. When she first contacted me, I gave her an estimate $3,000 to $3,500. I said I have to inspect it because it was such bad shape. Couldn't really tell with the photos. So we agreed on $3,200, and she was happy with the price, and I'm happy with the price. And I think the end result is pretty good. I believe this belonged to her grandmother, if I'm not mistaken, so she wanted to kind of continue it. And for those of you saying, it's not a Chanel bag anymore, man. Come on, get over it, okay? This was never meant to make it look like an original Chanel, to keep the value of the original Chanel, I should say. Not look like it, because it looks pretty much dead on. This is basically trying to keep a piece of memory alive for the customer. She's not going to be reselling it as a original Chanel. Okay, guys? And I know some of you guys, diehard Chanel people, are thinking that, but you know what? It's not all about that. Okay. All right. Well, I've got tons of email I got to get to. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me. Betos@yahoo.com. I'll do my best to answer them in a timely manner, but I've got hundreds to get to, believe it or not. And right now, the schedule's a bit backlogged with work. I'm just trying to think if I can maybe close down month of July to catch up on work again, but we'll see what happens. So if you got some items with me, so please be patient. I'm getting to it one at a time. I have two hands and 24 hours in a day. Can't change either one of them, but I will get to you, I promise you. All right, so if you have any questions, again, email me, betos@yahoo.com. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the thumbs up button. What else? I don't know. What else? I don't know. That's it. All right. We'll see you guys again on the next project. Take care.